So what we can do is, as I've shown you in the first lesson when drawing, we could configure this Spire to show us the automation right here on its panel. Once we click configure, if you see that, we can click any of these knobs and they would show up right there. And now we can automate them or connect them to a macro, but we don't actually have to do that. We can, as in Ableton is really easy to do that, we can just move any button anywhere in anything, third-party plugins or native Ableton, and once we click it or move it, that is the parameter it's going to show up right here. You see Spire 1.1, filter resonance, it's not automated, but that's the parameter. So when I move it up and down, you can see the value going up and down. So I just click it, move it, it's there. I can make automation for it, easy as that. And I can add that to a new lane so it does not disappear. So the easiest way to understand that, whatever you want to automate, just click it and it will appear right there. And then you can start drawing automation, or you can start recording automation immediately. You don't even have to see it. The moment you start recording automation and it's armed, the channel is armed, you can move anything. It's just gonna simply be recorded automatically. But if you wanted to do that by hand, you wanted to find something, you could actually click inside any of these, let's say EQ8, this equalizer right there. And once we click on this lower drop-down list, it's going to have all the parameters provided by that plugin. Since this is a native Ableton plugin, it's going to show us all of its parameters right there on the spot. But let's say I click this Spire 1.1 and I check out the parameter. It's only one parameter, this one that we actually mapped. So it does not appear in the list unless it's already been automated or something has been done with it or it's been configured right here. So in order to have any of those many parameters from Spire show up, I would have to go configure, click them, and then those would show up right here, and then I would have them in the list, as you see right there, so that I could choose them manually and do something with them. But as I've told you, this is the way that you can actually see them in the lists and map them to macros and connect them to MIDI controllers, because unless you do this, you cannot map them to a MIDI controller. When you click MIDI to map anything, these are shown to you so that you can actually click them, move something on your MIDI controller, and then they are mapped. So if you wanted to record automation for an external third-party plugin using a MIDI controller, you would have to do this configuration part first. So you would have to click the configure button on whatever third-party plugin you wanted to automate or MIDI control, and then click that parameter so it does show up in this list. Turn off configuration, now it's right there. Now you can actually move it, or you could MIDI map it. So clicking MIDI, clicking the parameter, and moving any knob on your keyboard like that would actually map that. So I can move it using my MIDI keyboard, and I can actually record automation for it using my MIDI keyboard as of now. So those are the differences between native Ableton's effects and instruments and third-party effects and instruments. So if you wanted to MIDI map anything to a parameter of a third-party plugin, you would have to do this configuration part. When you click configure, click the parameter, shows up right here, turn off configuration, and then that parameter is actually mapped for inside use within Ableton so that you can actually map MIDI, control it, connect it to macros, and so on and so forth. Now I have to mention that some plugins like Native Instrument stuff, they do have already some default mapping of their own for incoming MIDI controllers. But if you wanted to use a custom knob on your controller on any parameter inside that synth, this is the way you would go about doing that. Now let's automate this song, at least a piece of this song, for a practical demonstration of what automation can actually do for your music. So let's do it at some breakpoint, let's say right here. So as the song evolves, as such, let me show you what's actually playing right there. So I want to make a really big breakdown, a build up on top of this, and then a breakdown back to the beat. Let's hear it dry first. So I want to do something more right there. Now let's see, this beat could actually go into a filter high pass, like the one that we already made, the lesson where I showed you how to draw automation. So I'm going to do that for sure. I'm going to add some reverb, of course, on top of that. Let's do that too. Let's use all of those, of course. Let's use that redux too, the beat. Now I have another really interesting thing right here. It's this white noise kind of a drum, hi-hat kind of. Now I do have a macro inside, massive, that's going to move it. So I want that to happen. So you see, as soon as I touched it, it just appeared right there. That parameter just appeared right there on the lane. So I'm going to click plus, make a new lane for the parameter, and I'm going to make that parameter go up in that time span. Go up and just come back down. So I could even do that from the beginning right there. Okay, as such. So we do that. Let's see what else can be done. We could add some reverb to this too. So a long reverb like this. So this is what I want to do. I want to send this whole stuff group to a reverb and then go back. Just make it more spacious and go back with it. So let's do that. Click plus, add that parameter. That's going to happen only on the break. Lower it slowly until the drop. Okay, so let's hear what it sounds like now. Okay, let's hear everything. Yeah, I like that. Well, I'm actually going to keep this in the song. I really like the result. But, you know, this is just a creative way you can use automation to induce variations in your song, make build-ups, of course, change the dynamics of the song as it runs. So having that said, there are many creative ways you can use automation. There are many ways you can use automation to correct things like, you know, corrections in vocals. If some words are not loud enough, you can automate the volume of that track with the vocal and make that just that one word louder. But more on that when we come to the mixing and mastering course. This is enough for you to use automation proficiently to make your music better, evolving and dynamically changing throughout the song's duration.